Understanding how to lead an AI transformation is going to be one of the most difficult things you as a business leader will have to overcome if you are to compete and grow your organization in the new digital age. In my experience, what I'm finding is that a lot of organizations are still in that AI experimentation stage. They're experimenting with new models and new versions of either Copilot or ChatGPT, but ultimately we need to move away from that and go into AI adoption, then transformation, and then eventually, hopefully, become an AI first enterprise. Now, to go on that journey, there will be a series of obstacles or challenges that we will have to face as leaders. And in this video, I've identified 4 of those key obstacles and also give you a plan or a framework on how to overcome them. So let's get started. Okay, for this next part, I'll ask you to listen carefully about the problems that you're trying to solve while going through an AI transformation. So I've framed these 4 obstacles in sequence with one another so it can help you understand how to bring in a solution. Let me talk through them first of all. The first one is knowledge and understanding. And this is knowledge and understanding of not only your business and your operations, but also AI from an external environment. So you're going to be challenged to zoom out of your organization and understand how AI can impact your industry, your customers' industries, and looking at AI not from the perspective of should we use LangChain or Crew AI to build AI agents, but more so understanding how AI can offer you opportunity and also the risk element of adopting too. Once you understand that, then you can take into consideration your internal operations. And what I would ask you to do here is to go through a diagnostic of your business. So this is looking at everything from your strategy, how you innovate, how you communicate with customers, what processes are slow and repetitive, getting a clear understanding of where you are now, your core weaknesses and strengths, and then ultimately from there, it will make it a lot easier to understand where AI can be adopted and how you can transform through the lens of AI too. Now, the next obstacle or challenge that you're going to have to overcome is setting out a clear strategy and direction for your organization. Now, we're still not looking at AI. This is actually looking at your business now. You've already done your diagnostic, and now you want to understand what is the vision of the future. Key leaders will have to be able to answer a series of questions of where are we now? How do we want to play? And what markets do we want to play in? What do we need in order to increase the value of our customers and beat our competitors? Understanding how you're going to play to win and how to inform a strategy and doing so is a key part to implementing an AI transformation. The third obstacle that we're going to be taking a look at today is alignment and acceptance. And this is all around your people element, because realistically, like any type of transformation, it is a political process at the end of the day. Yes, technology is a key part of it, but understanding how we can change behaviors, job roles, decisions is ultimately changing culture within your organization. And this is something that you're going to have to go through. So understanding how you can bring people along with you and understanding how you can increase their clarity and their confidence in using new systems and tools and thinking through the lens of AI is going to be a key challenge for you to overcome. And then that brings me on to the final obstacle that you're going to have to overcome, which is execution and discipline. And both these go hand in hand with each other. The execution element is all about how you've already got your strategy in place, and now you need to have the discipline to focus on executing that over a long, sustainable period of time. Because real transformations, especially an AI transformation, can take anywhere from 2, 3, or maybe even 4 years. You need to, as a business leader, be focused on that and making sure that you have the right resources being allocated to it. You have the right management systems in terms of the processes, systems, and tools in place in order to implement it successfully. So these are the 4 key obstacles that we're looking to overcome. And they're also probably the biggest challenges that you as a leader will face while going through an AI transformation. Because ultimately, where you probably are today, if I was to guess, is in this first circle that you can see here, the AI experimentation circle, where you may have Copilot or you may have some Gen AI models in place, and you're simply testing, experimenting new ideas with these models, that's not transformation. What we need to move through is a series of different circles here through the AI maturity curve. We need to go from experimentation right through to adoption, then transformation, and then becoming an AI enabled enterprise. And there is a series of challenges and steps that you're going to have to overcome during that process. But what we're going to focus on now, and what I want to introduce to you now, is the Nexaius Strategy Framework. This is a framework that guides you through a series of steps that makes you ask yourself a series of questions in order to overcome them challenges. Like any strategy framework, it will help guide your organization towards a new vision, a new future, a new way to go through an AI transformation. So let's take a look at that. To lead any AI transformation, you need structure. And the Nexaius Strategy Framework has been designed to give you that structure, to give you strategic clarity. So if we take a look at the high-level view of the 5 key phases within the strategy framework, phase number 1 is understanding the ground truth, your business. Number 2 is in deciding what market or customer you're going to focus on. The third is your strategic innovation. So how can you bring value to that market? Then the window of opportunity is making a decision on what new ideas or experiments you decide to advance, you decide to adapt, archive, or abandon. And then you're into building the capabilities and management systems or the execution that you need in order to succeed. Now, I understand that this is a lot to take in by just simply looking at this framework, but let me break it down even further and discuss how this framework can help you overcome the obstacles that I explained earlier in this video. So as I said before, looking at the first step of understanding your ground truth helps you diagnose and overcome that knowledge and understanding gaps. Ultimately, we as leaders have to take responsibility in upskilling ourselves and understanding the business capabilities of AI, and then also understanding our current situation, the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities and threats of our company and where we are now. So those type of questions is really, really important. So what I would suggest you doing going through this first initial stage of understanding the ground truth is ask yourself, are we genuinely strategic? Do we build minimal viable products to test new ideas with our customers? What customer segments should we be focused on? Is there any new segments open in the market because of AI? And basically, what processes are repetitive? Which ones are slow? And how can AI help? Asking these difficult questions and discovering hard truths is a really, really important task to getting started. That will set the way for you designing your purpose and your vision, your unique edge. So why are you different, and why should customers buy from you and not your competitors? So that's number 1. That's your ground truth, and that helps you really solve that problem of knowledge and understanding. Now let's take a look at 2 and understand how we can solve the problem of strategy and direction. So if we took a look at each of these steps, it's really been designed to help you solve this problem. For instance, your purpose and your vision gives you oversight of where your organization is going. And then the next 2 steps within the framework, customer focus and strategic innovation, is also giving you that direction that you need to take. So when we are going through this innovation cycle, we understand our opportunities. We then understand what our assumptions are about those opportunities. And we basically build minimal viable products to test with our customer and get feedback and validation. And that allows us to make a decision on where we go in terms of the window of opportunity there. What new ideas do we advance into the business? What ones do we allocate resources to? Or what ones do we not, essentially? Where do we direct our focus? And that's a key part towards giving you strategic direction. As I said, the third challenge that we're trying to overcome is alignment and acceptance. And as I said, the key things that you're looking to get right here is giving your people, your employees, both confidence and clarity. Confidence in how to use tools, systems and new processes, and then clarity around the future direction of their role, essentially. Because when you start to bring in AI, they'll be asking the question, what's in it for me? Why should I change? And you need to answer that question. But as people start to understand the true power of AI and how they can leverage it in different ways to make their role more efficient or to improve their decision making, eventually people will start to adapt to this new way of working. And if we take a look at the final phase within the Nexaius Strategy Framework that focuses on execution, it's making sure that we have the right systems, tools, and processes in place in order to embed AI in the right places of our organization. So that was a quick overview of the Nexaius Strategy Framework. And although we probably do need to dive a bit deeper in how you can use this framework, and I will create a video on that in the very near future, but ultimately these are the steps that you will need to take in order to solve those core critical problems that I alluded to at the beginning of the video. Understanding how you can really bridge that gap between your knowledge and understanding of the external environment and your internal world is going to be essential first steps. From there, giving your business and your people strategic clarity of the future, and then from there, understanding how to align your people and build that clarity and confidence within them is a really, really important challenge to overcome. And that will allow you to set yourself up towards executing and implementing an AI transformation today. If you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe, and I will see you at the next video. Or if you do need any help in around implementing an AI powered transformation, then don't be afraid to get in touch. You can find my email within the description box below. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you at the next.